Alright, let's got something special for you today. So, this, it's a bit of a milestone on my EDH deck building. This is deck number 20. This fills all the open slots in the way of structured EDH decks, which, to remind you, is one 800 count long box. Kind of hard to get it on camera, isn't it? Pick it up. So, one 800 count long box with 5 double-seated commander decks per box. I now have 4 of them filled, therefore I have no more empty slots, so if I start building more physical commander decks, I'm going to either have to take them apart or get another box. I don't really want to get into the box though, so I'll have to take something apart. Anyway, that means I need to be happy with what I have for a while, meaning I'll be doing a lot of changes to those, and possibly, if anybody gives me more suggestions like Connor Sapphire and Magic Mike do, more deck ideas, more deck text that you want to see. What commanders do you want to see me build? Of course, it's not as cool because I'm just showing it on Moxfield as opposed to the physical cards, which I think that's what everybody likes to see, are the physical cards. But at least in Moxfield, I can show you the deck idea and what I would put in the deck if I had the physical cards. Anyway, enough of that. Now let's look at the physical cards. Today's commander is Horobi. Horobi is deck number 20 in my suite of EDH decks. He's a rebuild of a deck I had probably 15 years ago. Looking at his old deck list, and I'll put the link in the description. If you look at the old deck list, I don't think there's anything newer than Theros. And Theros was what, 2015? 2013? So nothing was newer than that. So that was the time that Horobi stopped working, and I cut him off and disassembled him. Fortunately, I sold off a few of his pieces, which I would like to have now, but I made a profit on them, and the price has not risen to meet, let alone exceed, what I sold them for, so, yeah, fair enough. Alright, so Horobi is a 2-colorless green, black, 4/4 legendary spirit with flying. He can flagon. Whenever spirit becomes target of anything, kill it. So anything targets a creature, it dies. Equipping it, chanting it, Swords to Plowsharing it, giving it +1/+1 first strike, trample, and flying with power matrix. All of that, this creature dies. So you don't get the ability. For example, you go to equip a creature and it dies. You don't get anything off the equip. You go to sword the creature, just dies. They don't get any life. Of course, they don't exile it either, which is kind of a nice side benefit. And the original build of Horobi, he was the centerpiece of the deck. He was, it was geared so he was in play as much as possible, and I could target things and just kill things. And then everybody started playing targeting effects in their decks, and they could just target him, they could target my stuff, and it went downhill. Because if I've got most of the targeting effects in Horobi, then I'm the one choosing what dies. If I don't have most of the targeting effects, and 3 other players have as many as I do, they get to choose what dies. And a lot of times it's Horobi, because they don't want their shit killed, or my stuff that they don't want to be attacked with. So the new theme is Horobi is an aerial spotter. So Horobi is in the command zone, sitting around, waiting to come in, fly around, and tell everybody else what to target. I do not have as many targeting effects as I did before. I have more big black creatures. So this Horobi build is less of a targeting thing than just big black bastards. Big black bastard Horobi. Alright, so that's not really satisfactory because you can't see him that well here. How about if I put him there? Can you see him? Tilt up the freaking camera. There we go. Bloody hell. Still can barely see him, but screw it. Alright, first let's look at the mana base. As I said, I am still missing a few cards to have him back where have him where I want him to. I don't want to simply rebuild what I had before. I want to take the core of the idea and build around it a little bit differently. So with that, I still want a Lake of the Dead, Terrain Generator, and Deserted Temple. I don't have them yet. Lake of the Dead, I sold mine for 150 euros. It's now around 70, 75. So once my Secret Lair Rabo sells, that's what I'll do. I'll get his Lake of the Dead. Deserted Temple and Terrain Generator are cheaper. I'll just pick them up when I pick them up. Alright, so anyway, first off, he's got Bonder's Enclave. Add colorless, 3 tap, draw a card, activate if you only if you control a creature with power. Okay, so if I have my commander, I can do that. And there's a lot of other creatures power 4 or greater in that deck. Let me tell you, Big Back Blasters is the key. Alright, Cabal Coffers. Yeah, it's mono black. Of course. High Market. Add 1 colorless to your mana pool. Sack creature, you gain 1 life. Maze of Ith provides no mana. It's basically a free enchantment that you can tap. Target attacking creature becomes untapped. This creature either dies because Hirobi's in play, or goes home and doesn't receive damage as a result of combat. So if I have this out, somebody attacks, I can maze it and kill the creature. If somebody attacks and Hirobi's not out, I can just send it home and I don't get hit. Or I can use it politically and somebody else doesn't get hit either. A lot of uses for this card. But I don't play them very often. I used to play Maze of Ith a lot. There's a lot of cards, mini cards, where I played them very often across my decks, and then I slowly started phasing them out to where I either hardly play them or stop playing them completely. Bojuka Bog is another one like this. Temple of the False God is becoming something like this. The Karoo lands from Ravnica come into play tapped, bounce a land back your hand, and they provide mana of two colors. I quit playing those. I used to play those all the time. I don't play them at all anymore. I think maybe Sig has one, and that's about it. So anyway, Maze of Ith. It is signed by Ensign Medics. I was happy to get that. Thawing Glaciers comes play tapped. Search library for a swamp. Put in play tapped. Does not count. Yes. Hopefully library efforts. In turn, bounces back to your hand. Thawing Glaciers. If you're running a 1 or 2 color deck and you've got an extra 15 euros to blow on a land, this is pretty good. Especially if you have ways of getting the land back, like Burgeoning, Exploration, to get multiple land triggers per turn, multiple land plays per turn. Thawing Glaciers is pretty good. Otherwise, it's slow as fuck. But it's reliable. It's slow as fuck, but it's reliable. Don't get me wrong there. Tower of the Magistrate. Tap, add 1 color to mana pool. 1 tap. If Hirobi's in play, target creature dies. If Hirobi's not in play, target creature drops his swords and runs away. Nikto, Shrine to Nyx. I took this out of Kaervek. Kaervek really doesn't need it, I realize, because Kaervek has a bunch of mana rocks. He's got Cabal Coffers and Urborg. He's got an expedition map to find whichever half he doesn't have. And I don't build up that many an impressive board presence with a lot of colored spells, colored creatures, colored permanents. He just doesn't work like that. I don't know why. I've got Mikaeus and Hallowed in there. I've got what is it, Gratuitous Violence in there. What else costs a lot? I've got Kiki Jiki is in there. He's 3 red. I've got a number of things that have 2 or more color pips, but they just don't seem to come into play and stay in play. So I took Nykthos out of Kaervek, gave it to Hirobi, because he's mono black. It's going to work. And since I've got all these non-basic lands, might as well turn them into swamps and help the coffers out. So Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Volras, Stronghold, add 1 color to mana pool. 1 tap. Put a creature from graveyard on top of your library. I like this card. I like this card a lot. I've got 9 copies across my decks. Same with Yavimaya Hollow. Yavimaya Hollow also have 9 copies across my decks. When I first started playing, I remembered these from years ago. When I first started playing EDH, let me be precise. When I first started playing EDH, I remembered these from when I played years ago, and remember how much I liked them then, so I just bought a bunch of them and kept them, because I figured if I make a black deck, I'm going to want Volras Stronghold. And I do. I just shove it in there. green deck. I want Yavimaya, I'll just shove it in there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. I miscount, fuck it. Anyway, stack of swamps. That's his mana base. Stack of swamps. Bloop, 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 bloop. Stack of swamps and a few basic lands. How many basic lands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So he's got 38 lands, 9 basics, so 29 swamps. There, easy. And it's going to slide around if I put it up there. Okay, now for the heart of the deck. Okay, Solemn Simulacrum comes to play, go find a swamp, put in a play tap, shuffle, when he dies, draw a card. Yeah. Walking Atlas, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield, just by tapping him. Boomba. Cauldron of Souls. Choose a number of target creatures. If Roby's in play, they all die. Expedition Map 2. Sack Expedition Map. Go find Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth if you have Cabal Coffers. If you have Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, go find Cabal Coffers. Did I mix that up? I fucked it up. I don't care. Anyway, it's in here to get the other half of that deal. Duo. That's the only reason it's in here. It's a tutor for the half of that combo. It's a land combo. Felden's Cane. I used to shove this into when I played Magic back in the 90s. All of my decks, all of them had a Felden's Cane because I wanted some way of recurring cards that I was casting, creatures were dying. So all of my decks had a Soul Ring because we were playing by vintage rules at the time. 60 card decks, normal 60 card decks, kitchen table Magic. All of my decks had a Soul Ring and a Felden's Cane. And once I got my Library of Alexandria, all of my decks had a Proxy Library of Alexandria. All of them. So, Felden's Cane. Somebody's going to blow up my graveyard. If I've got this out, I'll trigger it and shovel it back in. Ice Manipulator. 4 and 1. Tap target artifact, creature, or land. If it's a creature and Robe is in play, kill it. Jet Medallion. My shit costs 1 less to play, unless it's colorless. Unless there's 15 artifacts in the deck. 15 or 16. Anyway, this makes my black stuff cheaper. Mask of Griselbrand. Okay, this doesn't really go in the deck, I know, because Roby is the commander, but I will not always have him in play. He will get taken out at some point. Either I will take him out in order to put this on something because I need the life, or somebody else take out Roby's. For some reason, and it varies, he will not always be in play. That's just going to happen. And when he's not in play, then I can equip a creature and give him this Mask of Griselbrand that I really want to try out. I want to see if it works. It's a junk card. It's worth nothing financially. Financially has no real value. But the creature gets flying and lifelink. When it dies, I can pay X life, its power, and then draw X cards. Curious to see how it works. Nyx Lotus. Okay. Mono black deck. This is a perfect mana rock for the mono decks. Zami has one too. 4 comes to play tap. Tap it, choose a color. Add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So if I talk like a douche, I don't trip over my tongue. That's nice. I don't need to remember that. Fuck. Okay, Bolivian Stone. 3. Oh, I love this art. I've loved the way that purple looks in foil. That's beautiful. So anyway, put a fate counter target permanent. If it's a creature, Roby's play, kill it. If not, it just gets a fate counter. 5, sack stone, destroy each non-land permanent without a fate counter. Then all fate counters go away. Oh, this is so pretty. Power Matrix. Here's a card that probably a lot of you have never seen and are thinking, why is the Autobot Matrix of Leadership on a Magic card? I don't know. I guess Alan Pollack was watching a lot of Transformers as a kid, and they said, do a Power Matrix. And he said, oh, okay, I've got an idea for that. Autobots, rule out. So 4, and just tap it. Just tap it. Target creature gets +1/+1, flying first strike, and trample until end of turn. That's pretty good. That's pretty powerful. If Roby's in play, something dies. If Roby's not in play, something gets bigger and punches somebody in the fucking face. Soul Ring from the Commander Collection, black. Yeah, okay. Don't say it. Don't. I know. I know. Okay, don't. Shh. I told you. I don't want to fucking hear it. Arcane Signet is better. It's strictly better. I know it's better. I know why it's better. I agree it's better. But I have one of these. And I like it. And it's pretty. And I want to play it. And I'm going to play it. And I don't really have room for an Arcane Signet. Now, if you're going to keep going on, and you're going to tell me, but, Arcane Signet, tell me what to take out. Those are the rules of my channel. If you're going to suggest a card for a specific deck, you need to tell me what you would take out. Throw a brother a bone here, okay? Otherwise, Star Compass. Comes into play tapped. Yeah, I know, that's not good. But add to your mana 1 mana of any color basic land you could produce. I've got 29 fucking swamps, so it's probably going to make black, reliably. 1,000-year elixir. 3, put it in play. All my creatures' tap abilities can be played as though they had haste. Now, it doesn't give them haste. It does not give the creatures haste. They cannot attack. They can simply use their activated abilities as though they had haste. So anything that makes them tap, they can do right away. Which I don't quite have enough creatures to fully justify this. But that one untapped target creature, and if Roby's in play, kill it. Those together make it so this is a reasonable addition to the deck. So 1,000-year elixir. Okay, this is the card that I kind of shoved in here as a real experiment. I mean, completely. So 4, 1, discard a card, you gain 4 life. 1, pay 1 life, get a goat token. 1, sacrifice a creature, probably that goat token. Return an artifact from graveyard to your hand. 1, sacrifice an artifact or a card. So all these different options. I want to something about this deck is I've got a lot of things that I pay life for. I've got a lot of things that are going to chew into my life total pretty brutally if I get going. So I need a number of incremental ways of gaining life. That's why I've got the Mask of Griselbrand. That's why I've got this. The other thing is I can discard the idea anyway. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. Discard some big nasty creature, some big black bastard, gain 4 life, and then reanimate the son of a bitch, right? Not with reanimate, because that kind of defeats the purpose. You know, okay, throw away this big black bastard. Son of a bitch costs 8 mana. I gain 8 life. Then I reanimate him and I pay 8 life to put him back. No, that not really what the deck needs. But pay 1 life and I get a goat creature. That could be interesting for some of the things. Some of the things that require sacrifice. So there we go. If somebody blows up an artifact, I've got a way to get it back. So that's nice. Second artifact, draw a card. I should put oh fuck, oh shit, I should put a Pitiless Plunderer in here. So when my creatures die, I get treasure tokens, and then I can, oh fuck, now I need another card for this deck. God damn it. But that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I've got other ways to draw cards, so maybe you don't, but oh shit. Maybe I should shove this into Korvold, because Korvold has my Pitiless Plunderer, and it works really well with him. It's a key card with him. With Hirobi, it's just kind of a side effect. Ah, shit, now I have to... And I thought this deck was done. I thought it was done. They're never done. They always drag you back into the changing room where you change your decks and move your cards around. Always. Okay, anyway. Liliana of the Dark Realms, 2 black for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. Search library for a swamp. Show it to everybody. Put in your hand. Then shuffle. Nice. Get swamps. Neg 3, target creature gets +X or -X, neg-X. Either you make it bigger or you kill it, where X is the number of swamps you control. So it can get really big or really dead. And if Roe is in play, it can get really dead or really dead because you're targeting the goddamn creature. But this, neg 6, you get an emblem with swamps you control, tap for 4. I've done that before, and it's sweet, it's tasty, I love it. So that's what I do. Go find swamp every turn until I can trigger the emblem, then yeah, now we're playing with power. Okay, Archetype of Finality. The deck kind of lives at 6. I've got a shitload of cards at 6. It's a Battlecruiser deck. I'll say that up front right now. This is a Battlecruiser deck, like an old style Magic deck. But I want to see if it works. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So 6. My creatures have Death Touch. Those guys over there, their creatures can't have Death Touch, and they lose it if they had it. No Death Touch for you. Let me do that finger wag that you see in all those videos. No Death Touch for you. She's a 2/3 with Death Touch. Not very impressive for 6 mana, but eh. Okay, AR, First is Locthwain. Triple black for 2/3 Elf Noble. Whenever she or another black creature comes to the battlefield under my control, I drain my, well, my opponents each lose 1, I only gain 1 life. I don't gain life equal to the amount of life lost this way. It's just one of those fucking bullshit things. She's rare. Why the fuck couldn't say that? But it doesn't. Anyway, sack another black creature, draw a card. She fits. Blood Artist. It's a black deck. Thing's gonna die. If I didn't put this in here, I'd have half the subscribers saying, Blood Artist, Blood Artist, Blood Artist, Blood Artist. What's wrong with you? Yeah, it takes no imagination. I know, it's very original. I'm playing black, things die, Blood Artist. But isn't she neat? This different Double Master's art? I kind of like it. Especially because I had a original foil from Avacyn Restored from the first printing, and it looked like shit because the Avacyn Restored foiling process was shit. But this foiling process is okay. Okay, Bloodgift Demon, 5 for a 5/4 flyer. Beginning of my upkeep, target player, me, draws a card and loses 1 life. So he's my Phyrexian Arena with Beatdown. Butcher Milk here, 7 for a 5/4 flyer. They're both, yep, they're both 5/4. Whenever he or another motherfucker dies, everybody sacrifices a motherfucker. Chainer Dimension. This is one of the experiments I want to run. This is a creature that didn't have access to at all, obviously, in years past because he just got printed last year. 5 for a 3/3. All nightmares get +1/+1. Okay. Triple black, pay 3 life. Put target creature card from graveyard under my control. It becomes a black nightmare in addition to its other types. When Chainer dies, exile all nightmares. So it doesn't say jump through any hoops, sacrifice it at the end of the turn. It doesn't say play it as a sorcery. It just says, hey, if you've got a bunch of black mana and a bunch of life, and there's a bunch of dead creatures that you want back, you can get them back at instant speed. So let's give him a go. Let's see if he works. Hell, maybe at some point he'll be the commander. I don't know. If he works out really, really well, then I'll need to build a Chainer deck with a bunch of life gain and creature kill and just use my opponent's creatures to beat the shit out of them. No, I don't have many creatures. I'm going to take yours and beat you with your own creatures. That's the plan. Now I'm building another deck in my head. God damn it. Okay, Commander Grivanovec. This big black bastard here. So 6. 3 and triple black for 7/5. He's a human warrior. They did a great creature type update when they went away from just putting summon to creature. So his creature types are human warrior. I think something else too, but I forget. Human is relevant because of somebody else you'll see later that you probably already guessed is in here, because it's mono black. So anyway, when he comes to play, sacrifice creature, boo-hoo. He cannot be blocked except by artifact creature and black creatures. So he's Intimidate, because rage is the only freedom left to him. So he just wants to beat the shit out of people. He's like Conor McGregor. Cryptghast. Yep. Whenever tap Swamp for mana, add additional black, explore it. No surprise there, I'm sure. In fact, I bet a lot of you are now looking and realizing that I'm doing it in alphabetical order and trying to guess what the next card will be based on the alphabet and based on what's played in mono black decks. Because I guarantee a lot of the cards I have overlap with all the other mono black decks in the world, because there's only so many really good cards available. And I can't play pure jank, can I? Doom Necromancer. 2 and a black for 2/2 Cleric Mercenary. He's not a human. I need to check that Great Creature Type update and see if they made him a human, because if he's not a human, then he just became a hell of a lot more interesting. Anyway, black, sacrifice his bastard, return target creature card from giver in play. His sacrifice shall not be forgotten. Now toss his body over there with the others. I love that. I love that quote. Right, I don't have Kakusho in this deck. I have Kakusho in Kaervek because he needs a life gain. And I've got Kakusho in Muldrata. I only have 2 copies. And I want to get a foil, what is it, Ima? The Masters, Iconic Masters. I want to get a foil Iconic Masters Kakusho. But with all the other cards I've been acquiring lately, I just didn't have the 20 euros, 30 euros to put on that card when there's a lot of other smaller cards I want to get to complete these decks. My push has been to complete decks, not to make any one deck exactly what I want it to be, but to complete decks in order to play them, test the ideas, feel them, see what works, and then once I'm done, and now I'm done with Hirobi, I can start working on things like getting my Iconic Masters foil Kakusho for this deck. Anyway, since I don't have it, this guy should fill in pretty good. I've got a lot of black pips in the deck, a lot. And this guy comes to play, and he basically Kakushos. Each opponent loses X life, where X is my devotion black, and I gain life equal to the life lost this way. Except he can hit a lot harder than Kakusho. Kakusho hits for 5. Bang, 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 bang. So I'm either gaining 10 or 15, depending on how many of the players there are. It's not a stretch to imagine he's hitting for 10. So I'm hitting the other ladders for 10, and I'm getting 20 or 30, which is double, big difference. Oh, my camera's about to shut off, so hang on. We're doing a part 2, baby.